What if timestamps could tell us more than time? What if they could reveal the heartbeat of a hospital?
You're the new analyst, right? Welcome. We've had waves of patients these past 5 months, but we still don't know when we're truly overwhelmed. Find the pattern, show us the rhythm. All we have are timestamps.
Let's transform this chaos into clarity. From a single column of date and time, we'll shape a heat map for each day and hour. To create our heat map, we need 2 dimensions, the 7 days of the week and the 24 hours of each day. For the first one, we can use the weekday function to extract the day of the week from a serial number, date or date-time value. The second argument is important because it defines which day is considered the first day of the week. By default, Sunday is the first day. However, I prefer Monday as the start of the week. So, as we can see here, to set Monday as the first day, we need to insert the value 2. Double-click here and the formula is applied all the way down. For example, this one here is Monday. Okay, having numbers representing days is good, but having actual day names is even better. So let's transform these numbers into words. We'll use the choose function. All it does is take a number from 1 to 254, and based on that number, it returns a specific output. But in our case, we only need to define the first 7 numbers, since we won't go beyond that. Let's get into action to make it clear how it works. We'll insert it just before the weekday function, because the two will be combined. The output of weekday becomes the input for choose. Let's open the function window to help us. Here's the result we'll get if the input is 1, here for 2, and so on. So let's fill the first 7 boxes with the names of the days of the week. Ready. To make it super clear, first, with weekday, we get a number, let's say 1. Then, choose takes that one and gives us the corresponding output, Monday. Next, we need a label that will describe the 1-hour interval of the event. For example, here it will be 18 to 19. Since this will be a label in our heat map, it doesn't need to be numeric, it can be text. The main formula here is hour, which takes a serial number, timestamp or time value and returns the integer part of the hour. Be careful, it doesn't round. So for example, if we have 10:05 or 10:57, it will return 10. Now we want to format it so it looks more like a time range. We use the ampersand symbol and then include characters in quotation marks to create something like the normal time format. To complete the interval, we add the upper limit by simply taking the same hour function and adding 1. And again, we finish the formatting using the ampersand and the appropriate characters. Ready. Now that we have our 2 columns, let's create our heat map, which will be a pivot table. We'll add it in the same sheet, here. We place the hour intervals on rows and the days on columns. The hour intervals are text, so they'll be ordered alphabetically, but no problem, we can rearrange them. Select the label you want to move, wait until the cursor changes to this icon, then drag it. We can also do this for a selected range. Now, whatever we add to the values area doesn't really matter, since it will simply count the number of rows for each combination. Let's add patient arrivals. These are the hospital visits per hour per day. Oh, I just noticed the days aren't in the correct order either. Let's fix that as well. Now let's add colors, which is the key feature of our heat map. we go to conditional formatting and then color scales. We have the default colors, but we can customize them. Let's change them a bit. For the lower values, we'll pick a neutral gray, soft, almost silent, and for the higher values, we'll go with a more intense red-orange, bold and urgent, like the peak of hospital activity. Also, we can hide the numbers. To do so, go to the Number tab, then choose Custom and enter 3 semicolons. Ready. Additionally, we can create a chart to enhance the data analysis process. Go to Pivot Chart and choose a column chart. At first, it seems overwhelming, but it becomes very helpful when we filter by day. So let's add a slicer for that. Now, for example, if we click Monday, it shows all Monday cases in the correct hourly order. We can explore each day separately. To return to the heat map, simply clear the filter from this icon. So, if we had to analyze the results, we can identify some patterns. First, Friday and Saturday night stands out. We notice a deep red across late hours, especially around midnight. This suggests a spike in cases, likely linked to nightlife-related incidents. Second, we notice that early mornings during the week, especially between 3 and 6 a.m., are relatively calm, almost no activity. Another insight is that Monday morning shows a significant bump, which might represent people finally addressing health issues that started over the weekend. And finally, we see that afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. maintain steady activity across most days, a consistent flow, perhaps tied to minor emergencies or scheduled check-ins. These patterns bring us one step closer to understanding the rhythm of this hospital.
Excellent work. This will help us adjust shifts, optimize staff coverage, and be ready when the hospital needs us most. You've turned raw timestamps into real insight. Thank you.
Conditional formatting played a major role in bringing this heat map to life. If you want to truly master it and unlock every color, scale, and trick Excel offers, click here for the full deep dive.